Turning, looking,
It is Game 3 of a weekend set between the Yankees and the Brewers, and Aaron Judge continues his march towards history. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night.
It's just a reaction.
Goodness gracious! This is Yankees Game Night.
Pitch. Deep to left. There it goes. He's run away from Ruth. Home run number 59 for Aaron Judge.
All right. How's it going, everybody? Good afternoon. So, tickets for this next Yankees homestand are going to be a hot commodity. Aaron Judge now within striking distance of Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, and baseball immortality.
Pay that man his money.
In case you missed the game, it was home run derby in Milwaukee. Rizzo went deep, Judge went deep twice, Aaron Hicks went deep, Oswaldo Cabrera went deep. But before we get to all the positive stuff, the Brewers gave a tough day to Garrett Cole. The Yankees might have a Garrett Cole problem. He just cannot keep the baseball in the ballpark this year. He's allowed 29 home runs. That's the most since he's allowed in a season since 2017 with Pittsburgh. His ERA was over 4 that year. Wild back and forth game. I'll give you the official recap in just a second, but a couple of things to get to. Harrison Bader is coming back on Tuesday. Luis Severino set to return on Wednesday. And before the game, Oswaldo Cabrera was taking fly balls in left field, so it looks like that's the plan, to shift him over to left field, Bader to center, and Judge to right field. And hopefully he will break the home run record and be able to jog out and salute the Judge's chambers in right field. That would be amazing. Also before the game, Aaron Hicks was complaining to the papers that, you know, he really hasn't been playing regularly enough to get into a groove and put up his usual numbers. He also commented that New York is a tough place to play. In the words of Jules Winfield,
Well, allow me to retort.
this is the third most games that he has ever played in his career. When you combine this year with the partial 2021 before he got injured, he played in 152 games coming into today. Now, today he had a good day, but coming into today, 152 games, 79 OPS plus. So 20% below league average, essentially. And on defense, he's fallen way off, and his arm isn't what it used to be. So, look, he's not a victim of circumstance. He's had opportunities. He just hasn't cashed in. Today, good day, though. One more positive note. Jason Dominguez hit his first Double-A home run today. Congrats to the Martian. All right, on to the recap. So Judge is sneaking up towards the batting title. He's 1 point below the leader in the American League, and he got robbed of a base hit to lead off the game. Tyrone Taylor made a really nice play in center field. Anthony Rizzo singled in his first at-bat. It's big that we have him back. Gleyber Torres picked up another line drive single to set the Yankees up in the first inning, but the Brewers got out of it with a strike him out, throw him out double play.
Double kill.
In the bottom half, Garrett Cole walked 2 hitters and then gave up a 3-run shot to put the Yankees in a 3-0 hole before you could even blink. And that's been a way too common occurrence for him this year. Too many 3-run home runs, too many home runs in general. Not what you want from the stopper. Yankees, though, did answer right back.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Solo jack to dead center from the Wizard of Oswaldo. Home run number 2 on the season for him. No cheapie either. 420 feet to dead center. I mean, that's a hell of a shot. Bottom 2, Brewers get it right back. Solo home run by Tyrone Taylor, who had a good day over the center field wall. And it was also not a cheapie. Garrett Cole's just getting smashed. The league has made an adjustment to him. He needs to make one back. Top 3. The Brewers elected to pitch to Judge with the bases empty and a 3-run lead, and he burned him.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Gargantuan home run to right field, number 58 on the season. Just 3 behind Roger Maris at that point, and he was not done. I remember when Mark McGwire hit 58 in 1997. He was actually traded at the trade deadline from the Athletics to the Cardinals. And I remember thinking it was weird that he almost caught Maris and he got traded halfway through the season. And can you imagine if that would have happened? It almost did happen. That would have been amazing. Next batter was Anthony Rizzo. He got in on the act with a solo shot to make it 4-3, his 31st of the season. Good to have him back. He was swinging the bat very well today. I believe he had 3 hits. We'll get to the box score in just a second. Gleyber Torres nearly hit a 3-run home run in the top of the 5th, but came up just short.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Later in the inning, Stanton smoked one right at the third baseman, Wong. He could not handle it. He's lucky he didn't get killed by it. It was smoked. Stanton actually had a couple of good at-bats today. He had a couple that I think he just missed. That tied the game at 4. Next batter was Oswaldo Cabrera, and he gave the Yankees the lead with a broken bat infield single, and then Higashioka singled up the middle to make it 7-4 Yanks. So Garrett Cole actually got into trouble again in the 5th inning, but got consecutive strikeouts on 101-mile-an-hour fastballs. I thought maybe the gun was a little bit juiced today. We saw a couple of guys throwing 101, 102 that normally don't get up that high, so take that with a grain of salt. He was done after 5. He had 8 more strikeouts, so he continues to approach the Yankee record, but he did give up 4 runs and 2 home runs, so not a great start for Garrett Cole. Wizard of Oswaldo roped a double down the right field line in the top of the 7th. That was his 3rd hit of the game. Hits from both sides of the plate today. He scored on a ground out by Higashioka. I wish we still had Ken Singleton in the booth because he was really great. He was a switch hitter, and he was really great at breaking down the differences in a guy's swing between the right side and the left side. And it would be fun to have that analysis. Aaron Hicks followed up with his 7th home run of the season, and then Aaron Judge.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
443 feet for home run number 59, deep into the upper deck, 1 short of Babe Ruth. What more can you say? The man is just amazing. Just amazing. Every day he does something incredible. Second time in the game that the Yankees went back-to-back, 17th time this season that they've gone back-to-back. That is a franchise record. It's what you want. Clark Schmidt was pretty good today. Gave up a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th. But top 9, Aaron Judge ripped a 2-run double, 4th hit on the day. He is now very much in play for the batting title, which would give him the Triple Crown. Also has 127 RBIs.
Pay that man his money.
Should have been a cakewalk from that point, but Peralta couldn't get anybody out in the 9th. Yankees had to go to Holmes with the bases loaded. Brewers got 2 back on a base hit, but then ultimately Holmes shut it down, and the Yankees win 12-8.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
Demetrius with the first comment. The opening salvo for tonight says, Cole needs to stop being a pitching machine, intimidate batters more. I agree with that. And use the velocity to his advantage. Get more strategic and slow down like Woodruff yesterday. Thank you for the dono. I like the way that he approached Rafael Devers earlier this year, where he kind of threw at his knees a little bit and made him move his feet. Just made him a little bit more uncomfortable. I do think that, maybe he could be a little bit more effectively wild. But he also needs to stop throwing the ball down the middle of the plate. I mean, that's just... that's obvious. Just make better pitches overall. He's still got the stuff, as they mentioned, 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Greg Hughes says Cole piling up strikeouts and home runs. All right, so we've got to hand out the official belt. I just left it up. It was pretty obvious at this point, but Aaron Judge.
Belt winner.
Darth Wacko hopes that Bader takes over. So Bader is going to start in center field, according to the broadcast. He is going to be out there on Tuesday night. That'll be our first look at him. That'll shift Oswaldo Cabrera over to left field and Judge back to right field. Demetrius also says, I miss Ken. Wholeheartedly agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Virginian says, Jeff Nelson is great. The Yankees should use him more. And Ara says, Hicks is only 23 home runs away from 30. Yeah, but how many stolen bases, though, before he gets to 30-30? Wayne says the bullpen should benefit from a day off tomorrow. Absolutely. They had a couple of days off this week. Obviously, this time of year, everybody's tired, right? But any days off, especially in September, can really benefit you, allow you to reset your bullpen budget, as they like to call it on the Yes Network. Sehaj says, playoff roster better not have Hicks and better have Cabrera. You are not wrong. All right, let's take a look at the box score. Dwight says, if Monty had the run support that Cole gets, he'd still be here. You're also probably not wrong. So the Yankees pick up their 88th win of the season. They are 30 games over 500 once again. Aaron Judge with 4 hits tonight, 4 RBIs tonight. It was this afternoon. He is now hitting .316 on the season, 1.120 OPS. That's just outrageous. Rizzo gets 3 hits in his return and an RBI on the home run. His swing looked good. He looked healthy. He looked fresh. So when I had Jason Surge on to talk last week from 161, we talked about how those headaches that resulted from the epidural, side effect of the epidural, might have been a blessing in disguise. In the short term, it forced the Yankees to put Rizzo on the IL. But in the long term, it gave him time to rest that back after getting the epidural. And so he's going to be much more fresh over the next couple of weeks and hopefully couple of months. So, hey, look, it was a blessing in disguise, if you ask me. Glad to have him back. Greg Hughes says Triple Crown is enough to defeat the immortal, unstoppable Ohtani for MVP. What a joke. I keep getting comments. I get a lot of comments from people who are anti-Judge or pro-Ohtani in favor of Ohtani. And most of them are respectable. It's like, hey, look, Ohtani's doing something that nobody else does, and I agree. But so is Judge. Judge has hit home runs at the pace of essentially the second and third level people combined, probably when it's all done. I mean, he's mashing. He's playing great defense. He's playing center field. He's playing right field. He's got a career high in stolen bases, hitting .316. He's drawing walks. He's getting big RBIs. How many walk-offs does he have this year? Not just the home runs. He had a double as a walk-off. The guy's been incredible. You can't... Look, nobody besides Judge should win the MVP. Otherwise, it's a sham. Period. J2 Winchester says, Cole to the pen in the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen.
Just a bit outside.
Although, I do think you might see Severino sneak into that number 3 spot. Obviously, with Frankie Montas being injured, Severino coming back this week, you do have some time to stretch him out. We'll see if we can get him healthy. I think Severino would also fit well out of the bullpen. Domingo Germán could sneak into the number 3 spot as well. He's been pitching very well. Miguel Peralta says trade Cole to Seattle for Castillo. Doesn't work that way. One, Cole makes way more than Castillo does. But, hey, look, we're all going to give Cole a tough time today, and he deserves, every bit of criticism that he's getting. But ultimately, the Yankees won the game, so I'm going to try and keep it positive. But the Yankees definitely have a Garrett Cole problem that they need to address. Saul Bailey says, I'm sure Cole didn't tell the Yankees he was using spider tack when he signed. I'd void his contract. They probably can't void his contract, nor would they if they could. But there was a point right after Spider Tack broke that Brian Cashman said he had to Google the name because he didn't know what it was. Frank Fontanello says 5 home runs in the last 2 starts for Cole. Not ace-like. It is not what you want. It is not what you want. All right, let's see here. The pitching today, Yankees used 5 pitchers. Garrett Cole, we talked about him. Clark Schmidt went 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs. The line isn't good because he gave up the 2-run shot, but he had 4 strikeouts. I thought his stuff looked pretty good. Loizaga worked 2/3 of an inning. Peralta's the one guy who really, really struggled. 3 hits. And I got to credit this Brewers lineup. I mean, they just didn't quit. They were just relentless today. And nobody likes to play against a team that's relentless. I could see them being difficult if they get into the playoffs. And Holmes works a scoreless 9th inning. Yankees finish it off. Mike to AC Merge says, hope Schmidt is okay. Yeah, he got hit by a comebacker on the foot. It didn't look that bad, but they took him out of the game, probably for precautions, but definitely something to keep an eye on. James G says, does Hicks even have a positive WAR this season? I'll tell you what, I'm going to find out. I'm guessing no. I'm guessing he's probably like minus 0.1 or something. Aaron Hicks baseball reference. Let's see here. This is baseball reference coming into today. So 0.9. So he's been, a positive WAR, but just 0.9 on the season. So not very good. Kevin Perez says, when are you expecting Volpe to get called up? I don't expect him to get called up this season. I thought for a second it might be a possibility with IKF going through some struggles a while back and the way that Peraza and Cabrera played when they first came up. And Volpe, obviously dominated when he first got to AAA, but he's since cooled off. I think Volpe probably next year at some point. I think it'll be kind of like what happened with Gleyber Torres, where he was called up early in the year in 2017, I believe, and had a pretty good year. I could see Volpe coming up. If he doesn't start the season as one of the 2 middle infielders, maybe coming up around Memorial Day. UT says Judge was raking today. That's our MVP. 100% agree. Kyle Fewer says Judge hit 5 balls, 110 miles per hour plus today. Easily could have had 4 home runs. That's amazing. I mean, I'm in awe of what this guy's doing. And I watched 98 and I watched 2001. Now, Bonds in 2001 was probably the only thing I've ever seen that was even better than this. It seemed like every night that guy hit a home run. I think he had multiple 3 home run games that season. But Judge has at least 4 or 5 2 home run games this season. Probably more than that. And he is now 1 percentage point behind the leader in the American League for batting average. He's got a real shot to win the Triple Crown, to break the home run record, which we've talked about would be serendipitous because he wears double Roger Maris's number. And it's been 61 years since Roger Maris hit 61. And then he's a free agent. And every team in the league could use a guy like Aaron Judge. Yankees made a mistake not re-signing him because now they're going to... I still think they're going to sign him. I still think that the priority is going to be Aaron Judge. The more I think about it, the more they're going to have no choice. But it's not going to be cheap. I mean, he's going to get a ridiculous contract. Pasha says it's insane that this team was on pace for 121 wins, and now they won't win 100. But look, you have to play August. The Yankees went, I think, 4 and maybe 17 or 18 in August. Something like that. It was horrible. Probably worse than that. And, if you take August off, you're going to, lose a lot of your win totals. Aber says, Stanton has been awful. Yeah, Stanton has not been great, but I thought he had some better swings today. I mentioned it earlier. He hit one really hard, a rocket at the third baseman that he could not handle. Ended up scoring a run. And I think he just missed later in the game on a high fly ball, but I think he's coming out of it. I think he's close. We saw the ball that he hit at the end of the homestand, a hard rocket double Then he kind of lost his timing after the day off. If I were him, with the day off tomorrow, if the Yankees get back tomorrow, I would get into the stadium and get my timing down. Just get in a rhythm. We need him hot going into the playoffs. All right, guys, Yankees win a good one. Let's watch the highlights together here. This was a fun one. This was a wild, wild game. CT says, what's up with DJ? Sounds like he is going to be out for most of the rest of the season. This was the great play that took a hit away from Judge early in the game. Taylor going up and making the grab. Scorched, though. And this is the 3-run shot off of Garrett Cole. It's not what you want. Second deck. Right down the middle. And there's Bernie the Brewer. Here's Oswaldo. The Wizard of Oswaldo over there. Drilling one to center field. 420 feet. Clears that first ridge. And he smoked it. This is later on. Garrett Cole throwing the high fastball. And this one gets turned around as well. Center field for the dinger. But Aaron Judge answering right back, opposite field. Power, Oppo Taco. Just unstoppable, this man. He's like a force of nature. Anthony Rizzo, first game back, gets one below the zone. One-handed swing, and he breaks the fence to boot. 31 on the year, 368 feet. And then Oswaldo breaks his bat in the kitchen, but it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. Brings in a run. Here was the base hit up the middle by Kyle Higashioka. That scored 2. Nice hit for him. And then Aaron Hicks getting the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Man knows how to stunt a home run. Just wish he'd hit more. And then Aaron Judge, 87-mile-an-hour hanging slider. That's not the pitch that you want to throw to that guy. Yankees win this one. Day off tomorrow. And then it's pinstripes. For the rest of the week, Harrison Bader, Luis Severino. Gonna be a good time.